So what was it like growing up with different parents?
I'd say it's a little difficult. I mean, for me, I'm like one of the only males in my family, so I kind of had to, play it along by myself, figure some things out, by myself. You know, for me, like, I have a grandpa and an uncle, but, my grandpa's really diseased, old, he has kidney problems, so he can't really help me out. And my uncle's always, he's always busy because I'm always getting new cousins and things like that. It's weird. So,
Relate to that, but like my grandparents are in good health, so like yeah, my grandpa and uncles and
it's good.
strong. Yeah,
So yeah, I mean, the only other person I can really look to is, the internet. I mean, that's what I'm stuck with. So, I mean, it's kind of like what I'm with. Um, for me, of course, to look for good information, I don't really use .coms. I use, .edu, .org, or even .gov to, look for correct information. So that's my experience with growing up.
Yeah, my little brother and I grew up in a household with a single mom, so my uncle played a really big role in my life as I was growing up.
I actually grew up with three parents. My mother was in a polyamorous relationship with both of my dads. Um, so explaining that to people was always it wasn't weird for me, but it was kind of complicated to explain to other people, get them to understand. But I was always very aware of like what they were kind of like and what other families were like compared to mine.
But absolutely. So for me, with my friends, like when I have like new friends, they're like, "Yo, can I come over? I can't wait to meet your dad." I'm like, "Well, I don't have a dad," and they're like, "Well, what do you mean? You have a single mom?" And I'm like, "No, I have actually have four." And they're like, "What? That doesn't make any sense." And now I have to explain the whole story about how one mom found the other mom, and then they divorced, and then found two other uh women who now became their partners, and now they marry, and now they become my stepmoms, which now they become, you know, the four of my moms, and they're just like,
yeah, that's my family structure, but only one of my moms remarried. Yeah,
so it's like, you know, me being a straight person myself, sometimes for me it's a little hard to wrap around my brain about like what's going on, like why am I in this situation? How can I, live with this? And I'm not the only one. I've seen other people seem to struggle in the same way I have.
I feel like growing up, I was a little more self-conscious about my family structure than many of my peers because without a father figure in my household, I feel like I had a big role to help um, my mom take care of my little brother sometimes, helping him with homework, stuff that typically when you have two parents, they can manage kids pretty well, but a single mom doing it by herself, I subconsciously assumed a a role that I felt like I had to help my mom take care of my little brother.
But I've grown up to, you know, believe that, um, don't take this the wrong way, but a man's role is to, like protect the woman. So I've grown up thinking about it that way, just as a straight man. That's just how I've come to be. And so, I mean, my parents seem to think the same way. I mean, nowadays, me being 18, I kind of want to be, a little bit separate from my sister, do things I want to do by myself. But they're kind of like, no, you have to, watch over your trans sister because, it's not safe for her to be, by herself. And, it's just, you know, gets annoying. I want to do my own things, but I just can't. So you're not the only one there, Bailey.
I'm kind of the opposite, where I had a bunch of parents that I was always kind of on my own, and I'm also the middle child, so I didn't have as much responsibility, especially over my siblings. Uh, I was always hanging out with my twin, but sitting here, it was just kind of not really taking care of anyone. It was just like myself doing my own thing.
For me, it's not really taking care. It's more like watching over, and if something happens, then I take care.
Well, kind of keeping an eye out, being a watchman.
Yeah,